All right, so there you have it. I have the plastics off. MR2, Project 2 MR2. That's what we're calling it for now. So there they are. It's very nasty. Been sitting on the car. Just been collecting dust over the past 6-7 years or more. The owner I bought it from, he basically just had the car sitting in the garage, and yeah, so it's just dirty. So as you can see, there are a couple broken tabs. So we got a broken tab right here, and there's broken tabs throughout the entire, all these plastics. Every one of them pretty much has a broken tab. So I'm gonna try some plastic welding, and mine is not gonna be conventional because I don't have a plastic welding tool, but I'm going to improvise, which you guys will see, and hopefully this will come out pretty nice. It's looking pretty sharp when I'm done. The alternator was also removed, and the bracket, the gentleman I bought it from, he pulled everything apart. I don't know why, but we're gonna clean this up too, get it painted, because I got to get this reinstalled as we try to get this car started. So a lot of work to come. Hope you guys like this restoration. So let me get to it. We're gonna start off by getting some degreaser on all these pieces, and we're gonna get a brush, start scrubbing them down, and I'm gonna pressure wash them and go into the plastic weld, and we'll put some vinyl, rubber, plastic protectors on them, and they should start looking pretty sharp. So let's see how this all goes. There we have it, nice and clean. Everything looking sharp, much better than what it was before. Obviously not perfect. So this is what after cleaning. So patience and a little time. We can get something looking nice. I still have to plastic weld these pieces. So this is what it looks like after cleaning. As you can see, it's still broken. So looking really nice, so much better, I should say. I also painted this alternator bracket. There you have it. Again, just black paint. High temp paint. So here it is, Florida. It's gonna rain, so I'm just waiting for the rain to come in, but this is what I'm doing. I think this came out pretty decent. I mean, look at these plastics compared to how dirty they were before. I mean, they're still old and used, but again, part of this project is a budget build basically. So trying to take a pretty decent example of what a 30-year-old car would be at this point, and just trying to refresh it as best as you can without breaking the bank. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna plastic weld these things. There's a whole bunch. Every panel pretty much has to get something repaired. So I'm just gonna show you guys how I'm doing it here. I picked one of the harder things to plastic weld, and hopefully you enjoy this video and it can help somebody out, because these things are getting old. You can get these reproduction, but they're super expensive. So if you can fix them, hey, why not? So again, this one is broken here. We're gonna fix this, and you'll see how this process goes. But let's get to this one, which basically I was lucky enough when I took the panel off the car, I saw this sitting inside here. So it broke off and it sat there, and it's the perfect fit to go right back into here. So I'm gonna just put this back in. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm gonna put it right back in here, and we're gonna plastic weld this in. So I'm just gonna tack it in just like you would. I don't know how to weld metal, but I figure it's the same principle. So we'll tack it in place and then we'll go ahead and fill it in. Now what I'm using is, I actually found an old fender liner. I was jogging on the street, and it's kind of crazy, but I was jogging on the street and I saw this old fender liner. This is just a piece of it. I guess a car had it tore off a vehicle or something. I saw it on the side of the street. I grabbed it, ran home, because I had this idea that I could use this rubber from the old fender liner to fix these panels. So here's my raw material, if you want to call it that. So this is what I'm going to use to fix this here. So watch along and hopefully enjoy it. Hopefully this helps somebody out, and hopefully you can save somebody. I got it tacked in on this side, so basically I'm just putting as close as I can, and I'm just running this iron down the middle to try to melt the plastic on both sides. Once I melt it, they're going to kind of fuse together, and this is just the initial to kind of set it. After that, I'm going to use that plastic that I got from the old fender liner, and I'm going to use it to build up, so I have more material to hold this thing to reinforce it. All right, and then it's kind of hot right there and it's pliable, so I turn on a fan and it really just cools the plastic, and once it cools it, it hardens and it holds it in place. So hey, it might be, as I say, a lot of things that we do is not rocket science. Somebody has probably figured this out before, but for me, I was just trying to be creative and found this idea. It worked pretty well. So yeah, so hopefully you guys appreciate this, because hey, look, there's a big hole. And now it's starting to fill in, and you know, you'll see another piece that I'm doing. Like, I cut this piece off the old fender liner, because you literally could make your own, kind of like this, and just cut it to shape and blend it in. This is for another piece, so you can get real creative with this and save a lot of these panels, because this will make it kind of unusable or hanging down and making a lot of noise. When you weld it back together, it puts up and it bolts up really nicely and looks sharp. So let me finish this up, and yeah, it's looking good. Here you have it. We plastic welded some of these parts, so you guys saw what it is. I mean, I'm gonna do everything off camera, but for the most part you saw how it worked. So here's another example of one of those panels. There's a big hole in here, and I cut a piece from that liner and just basically plastic welded it in, and see, if I push on it, it's pretty firm. So reinforce it in the bottom and in the back. So that's an example of one. Then you saw that piece that was totally broken out right here. So we basically got it put back in. So it looks pretty decent and it's holding up. So, you know, again, I mean, you know, it's not gonna be perfect OEM, but it's gonna get you going and back on the road. So hope you guys enjoy this series. Again, you'll see a lot of restoration, because, you know, that's pretty much what this is compared to the Gen 5 build. The Gen 5 build was about getting an engine into a car, making it faster. This one, again, is really about just taking those pieces that are not looking so sharp, getting it looking clean, and bringing the car back to life so it looks decent again. So keep on watching, keep on subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you guys next weekend.